What's up guys, today I have a match for you guys, and before we begin, if you can, please make sure to hit that like button, and we are aiming for 970 likes. So this is a UU match which happened quite a while ago, and this is versus my good friend JohnOrigins. Be sure to check him out, and yeah, let's get into it. So he's gonna lead off with his Raikou, as I'm gonna lead off with my Bronzong. He most likely led off with his Raikou, expecting me to lead off with my Zoroark, but no, this is my Bronzong, and he's gonna go for the Volt Switch and go into his Mew, as I'm gonna get up my Stealth Rocks, as he does have that Crobat on his team, but this Mew probably has Diffox, so he's gonna go for Will-O-Wisp and purple my Bronzong, as I'm gonna go for Toxic and get some damage on this Mew, because this Mew has to be a support Mew by the looks of his team, and any damage on this thing is really nice. So he's gonna go for Defog this turn and get rid of my Stealth Rocks, as I'm just gonna go for my Gyro Ball just to get some damage, as I'm not sure what kind of Mew is this, if it is a physically defensive set or a specially defensive set. Nowadays, specially defensive Mew is much more common, so I was not sure of this Mew. So he's gonna go for U-turn and go into his Umbreon, as I'm gonna get up my Stealth Rocks once more, as he will be forced to defog them away, and his Crobat will not be able to come in without taking any damage. So his Umbreon is on the field, and I do not want to take a foul play, so I'm gonna switch into my Among Us to take it, as he does go for it, and it does not do much, and now I'm free to go for Spore. He does have the Shaman, which is immune to sleep, but I didn't want it to over-predict, so I go for the Spore as he brings in the Shaman, and I am a specially defensive Among Us, so I can take any hit, but he gets a crit with the Air Slash, and this means that I'm forced to switch out, and I will not be able to 2-hit KO the Shaman with the Sludge Bomb. So I'm gonna bring in my Bronzong just as a dead fodder, as I do not need it anymore, and he's gonna go for Synthesis, and he's almost at full, and he's gonna go for Seed Flare, barely missed the kill as I live with 2 HP, and I'm gonna go for Toxic even though it does not matter, as the Shaman has Natural Cure, but I just wanted to do something before my Bronzong dies. So the burn damage is gonna take out my Bronzong, and I'm gonna bring in my Hackstress. Just kidding, this is my Zoroark. So he's gonna switch into his Swampert, thinking that I'm a Hackstress, but I'm gonna go for Flamethrower, as it does a decent amount to the Swampert, and from this point I do not think that a Night Daze will be able to knock out the Swampert. So I'm gonna go for U-turn and bring in my Slowbro, as I can take its Stab, Water type moves, and even Ground type moves. So he's gonna go for Skull. Luckily does not get the burn, but I would have preferred the burn, as he's gonna go for Toxic. And here I make a over prediction and go for the Fire Blast, expecting his Shaman to come in on my Scald, and it does not work out as he stays in. So now he's gonna go into his Umbreon, as I'm gonna go for Scald and just get some damage, and I need to save my Slowbro for later, as this is the only thing that can take on his Crobat after my Bronzong was down. So I'm gonna save my Slowbro and go into my Among Us, as I can take any hit. But he goes for Heal Bell and cures his Mew from the Toxic, and now I'm free to go for a Spore or predict his Shaman and go for Sludge Bomb. So this time I'm gonna go for Spore, as I know he's not gonna bring in his Shaman, as I can predict that and go for Sludge Bomb. So he brings in this Mew, and I put this thing to sleep, and it's always nice to have something asleep on opponent's side. So I'm gonna go into my Zoroark, as I can scare him out with a Night Daze, and he probably knows this is not my Hackstress, as I do have some damage on my Zoroark, and he's gonna go into his Umbreon, knowing that as I'm gonna go for Night Daze, it does not do too much damage, and I'm not sure if a Focus Blast from my Zoroark will be able to knock out this Umbreon from that range of HP, as Umbreon is a very specially defensive Pokemon. So I'm gonna go for U-turn and go into my Gardevoir, so that way I can Mega Evolve and scare him out with a Hyper Voice, which is of course boosted by Pixelate, and Pixelate converts normal type moves into fairy type moves. So he's gonna go for Wish, as I'm gonna Mega Evolve next turn, and he's gonna go for Protect just to get some HP back from the Wish, and also see what I'm gonna go for. So next turn I make a over prediction. I predicted him to go into his Crobat, expecting me to go for Hyper Voice, but no, he stays in, as I'm gonna go for Hyper Voice next turn and get a lot of damage on this Umbreon, as he's gonna go for Heal Bell, and now his Mew is awake. So he's gonna go into Swampert just as a dead fodder, and this was really an odd play as his Swampert was the only thing that could have taken a outrage from my Choice Scarf Haxorus. So he's gonna bring in this Crobat and I cannot stay in, so I'm gonna go into my defensive Slowbro as he's gonna go for Brave Bird and get a lot of damage, and this did almost half. So from the damage I can tell this is a Choice Banded Crobat because this Slowbro is max HP and max defense, still it did a lot. So I'm gonna go for Scald as he brings in this Mew, and I wanna save my Slowbro as a dead fodder for his Crobat, so I'm gonna go into my Amoonguss because we all know that his Mew does not carry a Psychic type move. So he's gonna go for Soft Boils as I'm gonna go for Sludge Bomb next turn just to get some damage, and he's gonna go for Will-O-Wisp just to get some damage on my Amoonguss because he cannot really touch my Amoonguss as I'm gonna go for Spore and put him back to sleep. So things are looking good for me as I've weakened his team quite a bit with my Waltz and the Zoroark, and this is how you use your Zoroark. It's basically a hit and run Pokemon. So I'm gonna make a switch into my Zoroark as he makes a double and goes into his Raikou, as Raikou can outspeed and kill my Zoroark, so that's why I'm gonna go into my Amoonguss as it's my specially defensive wall. So he goes for the Volt Switch and gets the Switch initiative, and he can bring in this Crobat, and nothing on my team really wants to take a Choice Banded Brave Bird from this thing, so I'm gonna go into my Slowbro just as a dead fodder, and because of the recoil damage from the Brave Bird, this Crobat will be weakened, and it will be at a point where I can revenge kill this thing with my Haxorus. So my Slowbro goes down as I can bring in the real Haxorus, and now I can start killing stuff. So I'm gonna go for Outrage as this Mew is gonna get 2-hit KO'd, and this is how this team works. It basically weakens down my opponent's Pokemon up to the point from where I can spam Outrage from my Choice Scarf Haxorus or my Mega Gardevoir can sweep. So he brings in this Raikou, and I know I can live a Choice Scarf Hidden Power Ice as I can finish him off with an Outrage if I get max amount of damage, and luckily I do get it. So I'm gonna take out this Raikou as I'm confused now, so I'm gonna switch out because I do not want to hit myself in confusion. So I go into my specially defensive Amoonguss, and look how well I take this super effective Air Slash from this Life Orb Shaman. So he's gonna go for Air Slash one more time, as this time he's gonna get the flinch instead of crit, which is okay with me because I do not need my Amoonguss anymore, as Haxorus can pretty much just OHKO everything on his team. So he's gonna take out my Amoonguss as I'm gonna bring in the monster himself, Haxorus, and I'm gonna finish off this flower thing with the Outrage, and all he is left is that half-dead Umbreon and that Crobat. So I'm gonna go for Outrage one more time as I'm gonna get a 3-turn Outrage once more, as all he has left is this Crobat, which is gonna go down to this Outrage, and that was a great game. So Haxorus did a great job in this game and took out 5 of his Pokemon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match and the destruction of Haxorus. Be sure to let me know what is your favorite dragon type Pokemon, and yeah, so thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.